Yes, Tuti, you are saying something.
Yeah, I thought no problem. Yeah, so mass posting is like when we post for a bulk account together,
Yes,
and individual is for single account when we are doing any posting, right?
yes, exactly. So single account is like a buffet. You are buying something. I mean, you are going to a wedding and you are
Mm-hmm.
having that, uh, a meal. But
Mm-hmm.
that bulk posting can be like a batch where people are eating and somebody is serving food. Okay, so batch like
Mm-hmm. Good.
30 people can sit in one batch. That is like a mass posting where the mass number range will be used. Single, that is the single number range, numerical number range will be consumed. Okay.
Understood. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
So just everybody remember, we are going to use 30, document type 30. Okay. So next let's understand the concept of main transaction and sub transaction, because we are going to use it too many times. Because if when we do any posting, we need main transaction and sub transaction. So whenever we make any posting in FICA, we don't enter any GL account. Unlike FI, when we do FB50, FB60, FB70, we enter the GL account directly. But in FICA, we never enter the GL account. We enter the main and sub transaction, and this main and sub transaction in turn derives the GL accounts. Okay. So what is main transaction? Again, for different, similar to document type, for different transaction, for different type of transaction, we can use different main transaction. Okay. So for within invoice itself, say I'm going to post one periodic invoice. So for that I can create a main it's a 4-character alphanumerical. So IN0 and I can create. This is for periodic invoice. Now it may happen that intermediate invoice I want to post. So sorry, IN02 I can create. Okay. So this is the normal invoicing every time it happens. But IN02 is for intermediate billing. Then maybe IN03 I can create for final billing, because when the customer moves out, then I have to do the final billing, that is the last month's consumption I need to calculate and send the billing. So for that I can use a separate main transaction. Okay. Similarly, if the customer doesn't pay, then there is a late fee, interest. I can create LT01. Okay, these are all main transaction. This main transaction again not only derives the GL account, but also this main transaction will tell me what type of transaction is this. Okay. Now after main transaction, I will have sub transaction. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. Now under each transaction, I can create sub transaction. The sub transaction determines whether it's a debit entry or it's a credit entry. Okay. I can have two debit entries and I can have two credit entries. Okay. So the sub transaction determines this thing. I mean, under the same thing, if I have subdivisions, then I can have multiple this sub transaction. For example, LT01 is a main transaction. Under that, I'll create a debit entry. That is whenever the late fee is posted, this debit wala sub transaction is used. And whenever, suppose by erroneously I have posted a late fee, I have to reverse it. Then I will need the credit entry, because I have to reverse the late fee. Okay. Now, it may happen I have one late fee called 2%, another late fee for 5%. For 5%, when I post, I can create another main transaction. This will be used for 5% late fee, and this will be used for reversal of 5% late fee. This one is for 2% late fee, 2% late fee reversal. This is 5% late fee, 5% late fee reversal. Okay, like that we'll have under each debit, under each main transaction, I can have multiple. Under each main transaction, I can have multiple sub transaction. Okay, so
So
I'm
is
going to yes.
in this whatever saying you say 2% is one debit transaction and another one is 5% you just we are creating.
Mhm.
Then how can we identify while the postings? How can we make this? S-
That I'm
how
going
can
there.
we? Okay,
I
okay,
I'm
okay,
going there. So with
okay.
this
Sorry.
main and sub combination, a GL will be assigned. So We have to go step by step. So suppose here I have one GL and here I have another GL. Okay, so maybe the business requirement is 2% is one GL, 5% is another GL, or maybe in late fee, interest can be in both sides. We'll learn gradually. Interest can be for late fee, there is an interest. For security deposit also there is an interest. That means the security deposit interest the company will pay to customer. Okay, because the company has held the security deposit money for 1 year. Now when the company will return back, the company will provide not only say $100 was taken as security deposit and it was held for 1 month or maybe 1 year. Now when the $100 is returned, they will return 102. Okay, so this is an interest which is paid by company. This is a liability for the, I mean, this is an expense for the company, but these late fees are income for the company. So again, derivation. So similarly, main sub we have to create. Okay, so first I'm going to create a main transaction. So generally I was idle for maybe some time, that's why I got kicked out. Maintain main transaction. So mostly I create the main transaction of the same company code so that I can remember this, that this is my main transaction. So first I will choose the application area. Remember, if you're using ISU, just choose R main transaction. I'll call it 0903 so that I can remember that this is for my company code. I'll call it 0903 manual posting. Okay, this is the same open item that I'm going to create directly in FICA. Ideally, it will come from ISU billing, but I don't have the config, so I'm creating it from FICA. One main transaction is done. Then I'm going to create two sub transactions. So come here, click on new entry. Here choose R main transaction 0903. You can find it from F4 itself because I have already created, and I'll call it 0010 as the debit 0903 manual posting debit. Again here utility 0903 0020 0903 manual posting credit and save. Okay, so here you can also determine the reversal. That means 090310 will be reversed by 090320, and again 090320 will be reversed by 090310. Okay, so always first you save the main sub, then after saving you assign the reversal. Else if you don't save it, now system will not recognize what is 20 because system will save the first line. Now while saving the first line, system will not find 20 because after that it will go to 20 and then it will understand. So always save it first, then you assign. Okay, then again due date can be determined from here. Remember in OBB8 last week I told you that payment term are configured in OBB8. There this option was available /o OBB8. This option was available that this is a 15 days due date. Okay, so from which date should I start? From posting date, then I calculate 15 date, or maybe from the entry date I'll calculate add 15 date. I mean this 15 days should be added from which date? Posting date, document date, entry date. I can do it from here. Also I can control from here. Okay, so if I don't put anything, it will consider the payment term wala, that is whatever payment term is in payment term level, whatever default baseline date is maintained, from there it will control. If I uh, or if I mention here, this will get the priority. Okay, this will get the priority. So currently I'm not putting. If any requirement, I mean in one scenario in
Yeah.
my, yes,
Based on the client requirement, just we want to control the things, due dates.
yes,
Okay.
yes. Mostly the CA master payment term, whatever is assigned, that is done. Now suppose there is a regulatory requirement that when we post one type of transaction, say maybe any penalty, for penalty, I don't want to go for CA masters, agreement, whatever in agreement, whatever date we agreed. From that way, it will not happen. It will happen based on whatever government says. Maybe say there's a regulatory requirement. In that regulatory requirement, when I create the main sub for that particular penalty posting, I will default the baseline date here. That is from which date it will calculate. So it will not go via the agreement, contract account, but it will go via this due date. Okay, so that's why it gets priority. So I'm for the timing I'm keeping it blank. These right side I'll show you separately. I mean, when we have those requirement WST and all payment, all those time at that time I'll explain. Okay, so I have just created the
So do we need to create two sub transaction? Is it mandatory that for each main transaction we should have at least two sub transaction?
if you create one, then you cannot reverse it. That's why at least two is needed. Okay, later if you want to
And,
reverse, then the second sub transaction will be used. Okay,
and is
either
there any
reversal
means?
or any offsetting entry I want to do, then I need a separate combo. That's why we do two.
So is there any scenario where against one main transaction we can have more than two sub transaction also?
Yes, 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 yes. It may happen. Okay, say
Okay.
there are different what do I say? Different manual postings. Say one for VAT adjustment, one for WST adjustment, one for other expenses. Okay, so
Mhm.
then I will not create multiple main transaction. I'll keep on increasing my sub transaction count. Okay, like that one main will have multiple sub.
Okay, but if somebody wants, for example, the earlier you mentioned reversal case. So, for example, we have one main transaction, against that we have one sub transaction,
Mm.
and then we can create another main transaction and then another sub transaction for
Yes,
reversal.
that
So,
way also you can do. I
so
mean, you
one to
can
one
keep it
also we can do.
blank as well. Yes,
Mhm.
it is
Okay,
not mandatory that we put everything here. Okay.
okay. But just to avoid that, by using one main transaction, we can manage with two or more sub transaction.
Yes, yes. Multiple main transaction will require multiple config down the line, so that's why one main multiple sub it is a better way of handling.
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
so now next to do the next thing, I have to configure now the controlling area, because remember I did the FI org structure, then I came to FICA. I did not do the CO org structure. Now I told you that FICA is a submodule of FI and CO. So now I cannot proceed further because now I need my CO organization structure. So I'm going to create the CO org structure. So whatever I'm going to do for the next maybe 30 or 40 minutes, this will be done by the FICO team. If you have a dedicated team, mostly in BRIM projects or ISU projects, they don't require a dedicated CO team because manufacturing does not happen there. So FI team will take care of this. But since here I'm going to, I am doing itself here. Okay. So and also I would
Uh,
expect in your case you also should do. Yes, Ganesh.
Yeah, one more thing on the earlier point. For example, we have two customer, one for a local customer and one for international customer. So we have different reconciliation account for both of them. So this is the so we and then we have two sales also, right? Local sales and international sales.
Mm.
So two different GL account. So in this case, do we need to create a two main transaction and then means against each main transaction to sub transaction, or is it
Reconciliation
possible to?
reconciliation GL is controlled from the ADID. We had ADID 26 in the FKP CA master. From that account determination ID, the reconciliation GL can be handled. And for different sale, we need separate sub transaction. Okay, so when I show the GL mapping, there I'll explain.
Okay, because I think that in main transaction we handle the balance sheet account, right? So
Yes.
in that case, we have if we have two different local customer and international customers, so can we handle with one main transaction two different GL account?
No, no. To determine
Yeah.
the but we there are two control. One is at the master data. That is your local customer will have one ADID, your international customer will have another ADID. So from master data level we can handle. or from main transaction level you can handle. If we segregate via master data, then one main transaction is enough. But if you are using the both the customer is having the same AD ID, then you need two separate main transaction. You just wait till I go there because this will confuse people.
Fine.
Okay, we will do it today only. Okay, so now I'm going for controlling tab. Here click on general controlling. Under organization we have maintain controlling area. So controlling area is like in FI we have to create the company code. Similarly here we have to create the controlling area. In controlling side, at the highest topmost level we have operating concern. Under that we have controlling area. So come here and create a controlling area. So here I can copy or I can create. So since in FI I copied, in CO I am going to create from scratch. Okay, maintain controlling area. Come here and click on new entry. 0903 controlling area. 0903 controlling area, person responsible. Now here we have this option like controlling area same as company code or cross company code cost accounting. Cross company code cost accounting means if I have multiple company code, I can assign into single controlling area. And one means one company code, 1:1 relationship, like company code equal to controlling area. This will be one. If I have multiple, we can go for two. Okay, so here we can go for one only, but mostly the companies, I mean the FICO consultants, they suggest that go for two, because right now I understand that I have 1:1 relationship, but later it may happen that we may acquire another company. So whenever we acquire another company, then I have to assign that company under the same controlling area. So it is always better to go for cross company code. Maybe right now I don't have multiple company code under the same controlling area, but down the line in future I may have another company code. That's why cross company code accounting is added. Okay, right now whatever our scenario is, one is enough, but since it is advice, I'm going for two. Okay, currency type, we have different currency type like company code currency, controlling area currency, okay, group currency. So I'll go for company code currency here, and my currency is USD. My chart of account is CANA. My fiscal year variant is K4, I guess, calendar year starting from January. And cost center hierarchy, I'm going to create a cost center hierarchy. It is not created yet. I'm just going to propose a name, and after I save, then I'll create the cost center hierarchy. I'll tell you what is cost center, what is profit center, etc. So cost center hierarchy, maybe I'll call it 0903 PCH. Okay, cost center hierarchy. All good. And then I'm going to save. So it says the standard hierarchy, this does not exist. Should the system create this as a standard hierarchy? I say yes. Okay. So next, now I will assign the company code into my controlling area. So assignment of company code. So click on new entry. Then I'll assign 0903 here. 0903. Done. Then activate few components within controlling area. Click on new entry. Fiscal year 2020. This will become 9999. Once I save it till 9999. Cost center I am activating. Rest all same. I may or may not activate profit center accounting. Should I go for, okay, let me activate profit
It's
center
required.
accounting.
Profit center accounting is required. Yeah.
No, without profit center accounting also I can do. That way I will record all the revenues and cost into the cost center. Okay, so it is in real project it is required. Okay, so let me activate profit center accounting as well. Then I need to do an additional step. Okay, so it is activated. Now what is controlling area? Okay, what is controlling area? So whenever the costs are recorded, I need to find out internally, as I told you that controlling is for management reporting. Internally, how much revenue each department has generated or how much cost each department has incurred. That reporting, for that reporting, uh, I will need controlling. Okay, CO. So we are doing that thing, controlling area. Okay, so first I have to create the controlling area. Now I have to create cost center and profit center. Ideally I have to create the profit center first, then I will create cost center. Now let's understand what is cost center, what is profit center. uh, in a company we can have multiple departments, and each department can be created as a cost center or profit center. Now the department which generates revenue as well as incurs costs, that will be created as a profit center, and the department where only costs are incurred, that can be created as a cost center. For example, in a company you will see, suppose the company has a gym. Okay, so in that gym people will go and they will exercise after their shift ends. Then in that gym the company has to install lot of machines, treadmill, a trainer has to be there, lots of equipment has to be there. But whoever will do exercise, they will not pay any fee, because that is free for the employees. So that gym is a cost center, because a lot of cost will be incurred by the gym. Okay, similarly, say the company has a basketball court or maybe a swimming pool. So people will, I mean, they have to do some maintenance, some basketball has to be bought, and the nets has to be repaired or everything. So those will only generate cost, no revenue. Okay, or also maybe the company has some transport means if the somebody leaves the office after 8 p.m., maybe for women associate they provide cab services, or they have some buses which will do point drop, not to home but to a particular point. So all those are cost centers, because a lot of costs will be involved. These departments will incur a lot of cost, because every night people will go, the company will drop, I mean they have to hire a cab services, the driver has to be paid, maybe different expenses are there. Or maybe the company has a, like, I when I was in TCS, we had a department for, we had a doctor. I mean every day there is a schedule that, okay, from this time to this time a general physician will be there, orthopedic doctor will be there, neuro will be there, maybe a gynecological, I mean gynae will be there, like different date, different ENT doctor will be there. So as per the schedule, whenever somebody fails sick, they go to the doctor. But we don't have to pay to the doctor. TCS will pay the doctor. Again, cost center. Okay, because for this department, companies incurring costs only, but company is not charging any fee from the associate. That's why it is only cost. Now let's talk about profit center. So profit center can be canteen. In canteen they will buy the raw materials, they will cook the food, but similarly when they sell it they will get some money. So associate has to pay for their meal, so it's a profit center. Cost will be there, revenue will be there, and finally we can find out what is my revenue. Okay, I mean what is my profit or loss. Like this amount, I mean raw material of this much, total this much cost is incurred, and total after selling the meals, veg, non-veg, everything, and this much of the revenue is recovered. So from the profit center reporting we will get to know, okay, in this department this is my profit or this is my loss. Okay, like different department can have different cost center, profit center. Now this is like departmental wise. Similarly it can be product wise as well. Okay, so for each product can be created as a profit center. Like, is in this product how much profit does it make? I know my total profit, I understand, okay, this is my total profit, but for a particular product how much profit I am getting, for that I can create each product as a profit center. Okay, and profit center lies just below segment. So segment is at the top. I can do segment reporting, but again all those things are related to controlling side. I just explain this because I have to collect and record the cost into a cost center or profit center. Okay, that's why I just explained. So now I have activated profit center accounting. So first I'm going to properly activate profit center accounting and create a standard hierarchy. I have never done profit center activation. I mean, in any of the batches. Uh, Go to profit center accounting, basic setting, set controlling area. We have the controlling area 0903. It is set now. Controlling area setting, maintain controlling area setting. Hang on, it is coming slowly. Why isn't Okay, it came. I had to move my cursor to populate each field. Okay, so I have to create a standard hierarchy. Okay, I don't want to go for all this profit center shit. Because a lot of additional thing I have to do. Okay, I just deactivate. I just remove the cost center, profit center accounting. I'll record everything in cost center because I don't want to show all the CO aspect because it will take much time. Oh, I cannot come back. Exit /n SPRO. Financial account. Sorry. Controlling. I'll just deactivate the profit center accounting. Organization maintain controlling area. Maintain controlling area. So our controlling area is 0903. Activate component, come here, just deactivate profit center accounting and save. Okay, so I'm going to book everything in cost center because profit center again it will require something, some different things. Okay, so now the cost center, our there for the cost center. Now I deactivate, that means I can go ahead without creating the profit center. But the concept I told you. So now I have to create a standard hierarchy for cost center. Okay, so what is my standard hierarchy? My standard hierarchy is 0903 CCH. This is my standard hierarchy. So again, so I'll go to the T code /n KSH2. Okay, this is cost center hierarchy. 2 means edit, 1 means create, 3 means display. So KSH2, and this is my 0903 CCH. I'll just name it. Okay, I'll name it 0903 cost center hierarchy. Save. Okay, so under that I can create multiple departments. Okay, so I can create under lower level, I can create 0903 OP. This is for operations. Then under the same level 0903 MK, say marketing. I have to understand, I mean, controlling point of view, I need to check how much cost is incurred for operation, for marketing, for different level. Okay, so I'll just create one more level, same level, 0903 HR. So human resource. Okay, and save. Okay, again human resources is a cost center because this will not generate me any revenue. I mean revenue indirectly it will generate me revenue. So whatever I explained, that gym, bus service, this will generate me revenue indirectly. I cannot find out how much revenue exactly is attributable to this cost center. Like due to that bus services, how many women associate feels the company is safe and joins here, and once they join here, we get more projects and we deliver more projects. So by, I mean, indirectly the revenue is generated, but this department does not generate directly revenue. Okay, so cost center hierarchy are created. Now I'm going to create one cost center and I'll book all the expenses, all income in that cost center. Okay, KS01 cost center 0903. Say I'm created under operation OP1 0101 2022. So I'm creating the cost center. I'll call it uh, operation 1. Operation 1, person responsible, say my name, cost center category. Categories are configurable in the controlling area SPRO setting. I'll just put it something like production. Hierarchy area, I just created hierarchy area, and under that I have created 3 heads. So this is my standard hierarchy. Under that I have human resource, marketing, operations. So I'll under operation I'm going to create business area. Business area is copied from the US01 template company code, country template. So I'll just use something like Austin East. Currency is USD, and if I had to create profit center, then I will assign profit center here. Okay, so right now I don't have profit center. Now since I don't have profit center, I have to remove the lock. That means ideally what happens, in cost center there is a lock that revenue cannot be recorded in cost center. Okay, so that by mistake if somebody wants to record revenue in cost center, so there will be a lock. But here I have removed the log because all cost and revenue I'm going to book in cost center only, because I don't want to get into too much of CO thing, controlling thing, because I have to stay in FICA. So this part, you don't worry, everything will be done by FICO team. But whenever you are practicing, I would expect that you will create, else you cannot you cannot do the posting part. Okay. So my cost center is ready. Next, I'll go back to FICA. So whatever controlling org structure is needed, that is done. Now I can go back to FICA and carry on with the FICA config. /n spro financial accounting, new contract on sale payable. I was in the posting and documents. Define account assignment, and here I will create a define CO account assignment. Okay. So come here, click on new entry 0903 CO. Okay. I'll call it CO account assignment 0903 CO account assignment. Save it, select, and now assign the company code and everything. So CO account assignment I just created 0903 something 0903, and company code is 0903, and here I will assign the only cost center that I have created into my company code, into my controlling area 0903. Only one cost center I have created. That means here I will book all the posting. So here I can book posting at cost center, I can book posting at internal order, I can book it at the profit center, I can book it at WBS, or for COPA derivation also I can use it. Okay. So I'm just booking it at cost center level. Just on a high level, I'll explain what are these things. These are similar to cost center. This order and WBS, they are also cost booking object. Here we can book the cost, but these are a temporary cost booking object, and profit center and cost center are permanent cost booking object. Example of temporary and permanent, for example, say say there is a trade fair. In a trade fair, your company has created a stall. Okay. So the trade fair will last for maybe 10 days. So throughout the 10 days, whatever costs are incurred, they are recorded in an internal order or a WBS. Okay. Now once the trade fair is over, then all the costs of the order has to be transferred or settled into cost center. Okay. Or all the cost of the WBS has to be transferred or settled into a cost center. So they will hold the cost for temporary, for maybe 5-10 days, but ultimately before the month end I have to transfer, or I have to do, this is called settlement. I have to settle it into a cost center, because cost center is a primary cost collecting object. Another example, sometimes it may happen that, say in your company, in your client, suppose a new project came. Say, just give you an example, say DSO, say daily sales outstanding, say our project name. Okay. So you are working in the regular project, and they have this new project, and they are moving 5 people into this project. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of them, it is in the same client only. Within the same client, say a new project came. Now, whenever you are working in the new project, you cannot book your timesheet in the regular code. You need a separate code. So if you have a PMO, then you will go to the PMO. PMO will create a new code, new timesheet code or time clocking code, and they will give it to you. So initial days, maybe initial 2 weeks or 3 weeks, there will be no code. So you have to book code. You have to book your times into a temporary, code. Okay, sample or text code. And after that, the PMO will transfer all the times from the temporary to, once a code is created, they will transfer all the cost, or transfer all the time. So the temporary code can be an order or WBS, and once this transfer happens, it hits the cost center. Okay. So this code is, because I'll forget in the next 3 weeks, for the first 3 weeks, who worked in which shift for how long day, how many days, if they not record, then they will forget. So they'll record it in a particular code, project code, and later once the project is approved and all, the PMO will create the actual code attributable to DSO project only. Then all the costs, all the time will move from here to here. So this can be called as internal order or WBS, work breakdown structure. And from there it will go to, this is the cost center, CC. Okay, so these order and WS are for booking of temporary costs. Okay, so none of the whatever companies I have worked for, they always prefer to book the cost directly into cost center. They don't want to book it into order, then they will transfer it to, that's another month end activity. So they directly give us a cost center where everything will be booked. Okay, so I could not assign the cost center if I don't do the controlling CO org structure. Okay, now the CO org structure is ready, I can book the cost. This is done. Next part is the GL account determination. Okay, automatic GL account determination. So first I have to create the GL accounts. So I will need first simple invoice I am going to do. Then I will go into tax, withholding tax, all those complication. For simple invoice, I have to enter, my accounting entry will be customer debit and revenue credit. Okay, just understand, if you are not from finance background, let's understand why it is debited, why it is credited, because often you understand, okay, customer and revenue will be involved, but which one will be debit, which one will be credit. Sometimes it may happen that revenue will be debited, customer will be credited, but when it happens, you may not know. So for that I will give you a simple formula. Let me see if I can see the formula. I don't want, else I have to create again. That simple formula will help you identify when to debit which account, even you are not from finance background. Okay, but just let me find it out. We will get disconnected in 2 minutes or so. Please join back within 1 minute for our last session today. Okay, I found it. So just remember, whatever transaction increases a customer's balance, that will be posted as a debit, and whatever transaction will decrease the customer's balance will be posted on the credit side. Okay, any transaction which increases customer's balance will be debit, any transaction which reduces customer balance will be credit. Simple. For example, whenever a sale is made, this increases a customer's balance. Okay, for example, all of you are my participants, all of you are my customer. Now whenever a sale happens, that means you need to pay me something, say 1,000 rupees sale has happened, so I will debit it because that will increase customer's balance. Now suppose out of 1,000, so here in this example, out of 100, say you pay me 40. Now I cannot tell that I have to collect 100 from you. I will tell that I have to collect 60 from you because you paid. So payment will reduce customer's balance. That's why payment will be a credit. Okay. Next, suppose I give you a discount. I give you a $5 discount, 5 rupee discount. So the balance will be 100 minus 40 minus 5, 55 will be the balance, because each discount reduces customer's balance. Okay. So discount is a credit, similar to payment. Okay. Now return. Whatever goods I sold to you, something a part of you have returned. Sorry, not this return. This is whatever you paid, a payment is failed, maybe your check is dishonored. Okay, then it will increase your balance. When you paid me 40, I'll tell that, okay, now you owe me 60. Now suppose your payment is failed, now I'll tell you you owe me 100. Okay, so return means payment exception. You paid me, but the payment became dishonored. You give me a check, when I encash the check, I